Welcome to my channel.
Is this recording?
Today,
Can you hear
I
me?
am showing you a little recreation that I have done. Okay. When I was a child, I was born and raised in a cult, and this is a particular commune that I once lived in Brasilia, Brazil. Anyways, so I recorded this before, and I was talking, and I had a fluidity happening, and then I don't know. I'm new to all this YouTube stuff, so yeah. What I was showing there, I used the metal posts as we had barbed wire inside the hedges, and so I was showing that I used the metal fence posts to do that. These are my very first custom trees that I ever did. I'd only been playing Minecraft for a few months, so do not judge. I chose not to update them. I came back through and updated a lot of my original buildings in order to better reflect my memory, and as I have learned a few tricks in the Minecrafting world. I am a total newbie. I am not a gamer. I am only gamer adjacent. And this is one of the games that I enjoy and decided to recreate this commune. This was the radio tower, and we used to climb it. We were not allowed to. I'm really not sure why it was there, but it was really big, and it was on the corner of the front end of the property next to the field there. We'd play volleyball on that field. I sucked at volleyball. Oh, all this grass stuff I will probably refer to as mato because that's what you call it in Brazil. It's like overgrown shrubbery. Yeah. And Brazilian mato is more kind of like jungle swampy, sort of, depending on the area. Brasilia is actually fairly dry, but still lots of mato. Anyway, so this is the driveway. It went in a big circle around the front, and that's me showing the circle. And then it went down. The house was at a steep slant. And when you get down, this is so weird. I'm not controlling the mouse right now. Just doing a voiceover. This was the carport. I tried building a car. It did not go well. No, I am not sharing video of it. But we also had like handyman stuff and tools and supplies. There's my little swing. And we had another row of hedges and random trees. And this is my beautiful Kombi in Brazil. So you know the Volkswagen hippie van? In Brazil, they're everywhere. And we always had one at every commune I ever lived at, it feels like. And this is my version of a vehicle. It is my second vehicle I made. The other one I recorded and will not be sharing to the YouTubes. But I felt decently proud of this. So yeah, that's my Kombi. So those are the two places to park the cars. We actually had a little blue car also, but I couldn't find bricks to recreate that. Okay, so I had a short little pause there, and yeah, I'm back. All right, so this is the backyard. It comes down to, what am I going to first? Oh, the fairy circle. There was this round of trees. They were blackberry trees, I believe. It's really, really yummy. We would collect them and make jams and jellies and other deliciousness. This was another volleyball court that we had, and a giant, like Olympic-sized pool. Oh, those bushes, they smell so pretty. Dama da Noite, I believe they were called. And we would go down this hill on like cardboard boxes. I got scratched up by the cat doing that once. Cats apparently don't like sliding down hills on cardboard boxes. This is the Chocascaria, which is barbecue in Portuguese, which is what they speak in Brazil. And this is Brasilia, which is the capital of Brazil. There's the barbecue pit. I did the little refrigerators. There was, so this would normally have been the gardener's quarters, but we used it instead as a shed. We did have a gardener on the property for a short period of time. Why am I paused? Okay, for a minute, did I just freeze there? What happened? Okay, I'm not going to edit that out. I'm sorry. I am new at this, people. Bear with me. So we turned it into a storage shed. We did have a gardener on this property for a short period of time, but not the whole time. But that would have been his bedroom, either that or the other space. There was a little tiny bathroom there. And why do I feel like I'm going on fast forward now? And then we had this space that we turned into a little classroom. And my spot was right at the front. We had a map of the world, and that was when I first found out where the fuck Minnesota is on a map. Yep, what is this filming style? Oh my god. Okay, rewatching yourself is not great. I'm so glad my face isn't on the screen. All right, so this is the Chocascaria. So it was literally a whole house for barbecuing. That's how we do in Brazil. You come to the back, and here's the laundry. Okay, so I will show you the walk from the laundry room out to where, yeah, I'm showing that way in the back is where the laundry machines are, and we would have to drag these all the way back. It was horrible. Okay, I lived here from ages 12 to 14. Okay, so whenever I reference any of the work that we did, just remember that was my age. There were younger kids, of course. This was our big bonfire. Okay, so we had this whole thing that like the government was coming to get us at any time. So we always had to be burning like all sorts of shit, like top secret shit. And there was another, I think I showed the area. No, lady. No, lady. Oh my God, my dog. Lady, please. No, please settle down. Oh my God. I can't handle doing more editing. This is the mango tree. Okay, I'll get back to the other stuff. This is the mango tree. It was the best tree, the absolute best tree. Okay, and why is it frozen? Oh my God, it's frozen. Jesus. And my dog is still barking. You know what? I suck at editing. This is all just going in. This was our favorite tree. It was where we would climb. It's where we'd go to escape from everything, even just to disappear for a short period of time. And I made sure that I created it in survival mode, climbability. I don't know how to say words, but I wanted to make sure that you could actually climb it even in survival mode, which I don't play often because I really suck and I'm scared of all the monsters. But yeah, we would hide up in here and, you know, either with a friend or by yourself. And yeah, we had a few little nooks and crannies that were our hiding spaces where we would escape the adults for short periods of time. And I made it in purple because it was an escape. So it was a special place. Now we had a second mango tree, the same type of mango. We had 14 different strains of mango growing on this property, and these two particular trees had the best mangoes, but the second one was really challenging to climb, and I did not get up there much, not without someone helping me. So this level here right after the soccer field is the orchard, is what we called it, and it was a bunch of citrus fruits like tangerines and limes and lemons, and yeah, it was, you could see the house from there. It was full of matu, and oh my God, this thing is freezing again. I need better Wi-Fi. All right, this was the dog kennel. We had 3 German Shepherd dogs. Samson was nuts, and we would only feed them early in the morning. So the rest of the day, they were hungry and they were kenneled, and they would be released at night, and they needed to fend for themselves. And that was one way to keep critters, you know, us free of critters. And one day, that dog jumped that wall. The wall was taller than my head. Now that's not saying a whole lot because I've always been pretty short, but it was at least, I want to say 5 to 6 feet, and not a whole lot of space for him to get a good running jump, but he jumped it. He was a huge German Shepherd dog, and he was a little nutso, and he only had 1 ball. So yeah, he jumped it. That's, I think, me. Oh my God, you're making me dizzy, Sarah, from a past life. But he jumped it. Us kids went scattering, and trying to climb in these tiny little citrus trees was really not doing it. And he got right up on my neck. He was trained to bite to kill in case we had intruders, and he saw us all as intruders. And yeah, he chased me down, and luckily I was just fast enough that I got a scrape right behind my ear on the back of my neck, and I got lucky. I've never been a fast runner, but whew, I was that day. Yeah, we had this whole little orchard, and then on the other side, where am I going? Sarah, where are you going? Okay, we had a lot of trees, a lot of matu, kind of jungly area, and this really red dirt that I figured I would use the terracotta. There it is. There's the little abandoned fort. There was this little demolished little fort. I don't know. It was our fort. And there was all these rusty blades and shit coming out. Oh, my wagon. Okay, we had this little wooden wagon, and this is the best I could do. Okay, if someone's got some recommendations, if anyone out there on the YouTubes cares about any of this crazy lady stuff, I would love some links for some cool wagons, because that was the best I could do. We had a second fire pit over here, right by, am I going to show it? Am I going to show it? You're not going to show it. Sarah. Yeah. So anyways, we did have a little fire pit there. Oh, the chestnut tree and our garden. This was the chestnut tree. What do I film first? I don't remember. The chestnut tree, it was my first time ever having chestnuts. They look like little sea urchins when they fall on the ground, and they're all kind of prickly, and we'd roast them, and I'd never had chestnuts, so that was something I remembered. Not the best climbing tree, though. This is our garden. 4 of us teen girls asked to grow a garden, and as you can see, it was not super successful. The dirt was this weird red clay, and it really just was not conducive to growing a whole lot. And so we had to use ashes from the fireplace to fertilize the dirt. And there was one thing that grew that was able to be harvested and eaten, and it was my cucumber. It was the only thing that grew. I picked it when it was about 4 inches long, so it wasn't very big, but I didn't want to risk the critters killing it, or who knows what got into we would every day come and see like leaves eaten, and one of the girls had okra, and that was a terrible choice, and I was glad it all got eaten. But mine was a cucumber, and it was the only thing that was harvestable, so I felt like recreating that moment. I was very proud of that. This was the chalet, and our friend that used to live here, she was married to the head of the FBI in Brazil, is my recollection, and condolences to her family. I heard the news recently. It was very sad to hear. She was always quite lovely. And this is the best I recollect this house. She had a level of privacy, so I really only remember ever using the restroom and being in the kitchen area to get water or something. So I just kind of recreated a couple small bedrooms for children, because I do believe there was 2 bedrooms for her kids and a master bedroom, but I have no idea what any of it looked like. Okay, so I just put little bunk beds in there, and then the master bedroom. And that was that. My mom, for a short period of time, did have a room in this house for a period of time. I think when Joey and I can't figure out how to get out this door. Oh my God, I kill myself sometimes with I annoy myself sometimes, I should say. Anyways, what is happening? Why am I frozen? Okay, here we go. Where am I going to next? I don't recall. Oh, are we going to the prairie field? There was this field of grass. At the time, that little back area was the school. Did I show that? So the back patio was the school. Yes, there we go. I remembered. It was a little school area. We had more chairs and tables than that, and it was screen enclosed because, bugs and shit. But yeah, there was this whole field of like wild grass. We imagined it was heather or prairie grass. And it was very whimsical, and it was this enormous field. And when I'm upset or frustrated, I've seen people that break things, and that always looks so satisfying, but I've never been a breaker. I'm a screamer. When I'm upset, I would scream into my pillow, or I'd go back in this field. You're far away from the main house. You're even pretty far away from the chalet. No one would hear you, and I'd just scream at the top of my lungs. It was very satisfying. And then in the back here, I know we have sugar cane, but I chose instead to use the bamboo because I felt like it would give the better. I didn't want to do pots of water everywhere. There was really, really thick sugar cane in the back, and we would come back with the machete and cut it down. And there was also a little fire pit back here, which I did not recreate because, time and forgetfulness, and I'm literally remembering that fire pit right the fuck now. So the way the memory works. There was this swampy area in the back where I did add sugar cane. I tried to let the jungle trees, oh yes, that flooded part of my swamp area. That is my outline, my perimeter of where I stopped my landscaping and said I was done with recreating the endless bounds. I don't even know how deep that property went. It was full of little pererecas, that's tadpoles. I remember faster this time. Yay! First recording, I stuttered on that for a while. So there was a lot of little critters and toads and snakes, and so we really didn't go in there a lot, like at all. We would go just to the brink of the first little pond, the first little swampy pond, and then we really didn't wander much beyond that. It was not safe too. What am I showing now? I don't know. Am I going back to the house, or are we going to go in the house now? I don't remember. I literally recorded this like 10 minutes ago, and I don't remember that. Oh, that's where the fire pit was. That's what that circular motion was. That is so annoying. Note to self, don't do that circular thing. Oh my God, let people imagine it. Don't make you dizzy. Where are we going? Oh, yeah, so this is the bottom floor. This you walk out here. So the front there, you're up higher because of the way the hill declines so rapidly. You come in on the first level, and as you walk to the back, you are now on the second level. Okay, does that make sense? I remember explaining that, and that's that's what that filming is. And yes, I forgot to finish the plan. Oh, I went real fast. That red thing is my version of a hammock. If anyone has a good idea for building a hammock. Oh, the slave quarters. They weren't actual. Maybe they were. Who knows? Possibly they were once slave quarters. That's what we called them. Yes. So this is where the maids would stay, like the cook and the maid. We did not have either at this house, but there were some places where we did. And no, we didn't. They were paid help, but you know, children and hyperbole and stuff. That particular room was my mom's room, and my stepdad, they shared that room. That room has not good memories. So this is the laundry room. Why am I frozen? Let it go, let it go. This is the laundry room. We have the laundry machines, a folding counter, and the sinks where we would rinse and wash the icky diapers. Yep, I did not like the diapers. And this floor is where we were washing with my friend, and she tried to throw a bucket of water at me. She slipped and hurt herself, and I could not stop laughing. And yes, it was on this weird incline. And then that is the kitchen, which I believe, yep, we visited later. So that was the slave quarters, as we called it. Honestly, some of these places you really don't know. The slave trade in Brazil was insane. Oh, yeah. So all these, there was glass sliding doors, but because Minecraft and aesthetics, I chose to only do one set of doors to come in and out on either side. And then here we are in the living room. What do I go to first? Previous Sarah, remind, oh my God, I lose my mind so fast. What are we looking at? Oh my goodness. So this is, we see the floor and we see the windows, and I'm annoyed with myself and my filming abilities. Okay. Hey, there's the table. Go to the table. Come on, go to the table. What am I doing? What am I explaining? I don't know. I think this is probably where I should have edited. Here's the table. We used to study here. Yeah, we used to study there when I would have a bad asthma attack. That's where I would sit drinking really, really strong coffee. This is the main living area, and we would have our big communal, like, praise you, Jesus, hallelujah, sing time. I used the stands as like guitar stands. We would have amps over there, and I did not recreate that because I was terrified of everything catching fire. I'm so glad the Christmas tree did not catch fire. And yes, I chose to do the Christmas tree because it was pretty awesome when we would install this ginormous Christmas tree, all covered and decorated, and it was a really big tree and usually donated. And yeah, we would sit here and, you know, sing tongues and I don't know, talk in weird languages and do weird cult shit, okay, happen in the living room, and it's frozen again. Oh my goodness. I need much better Wi-Fi. Come on, catch up. What is happening? There we go. We're moving. Yes. Yes. What are we going? What are we exploring next? Are we going on the balcony? Come on, balcony? Veranda? Come on. What am I still talking about the, okay. I don't know what I was talking about the floor. I was waxing the floor. So we would have to do this hard wax, and we'd wax the floor, and then you had to let it set up. It has to dry. And then the fun part though was wrapping all the rags on our knees and legs and feet and stuff. And we'd go sliding across the whole floor to buff it because we had one buffer. And the buffer one day wasn't working, and they flipped it over, and there was like dead mice in it. And so, yeah, we didn't use that thing anymore. But it was pretty fun. It would take an entire day to do that whole floor. But, oh, this is the veranda. And we enclosed the whole thing with netting, which is really ugly. And I wasn't going to do it. It would look like bars or something, like prison bars. That would be a little dramatic. But yeah, it was to keep out mosquitoes. Yeah. So yeah, as could nature. Mosquitoes are dangerous. There's our little buffet table. And yes, I got lazy with recreating our dining area. It was boring as fuck. It was just a bunch of a bunch of like picnic tables and little benches. We would build them all ourselves. They were the ugliest fucking things. And so I decided to not spend a lot of time on our little feeding area. Do I go upstairs or down the little hall? Do I go up to... So, okay, there's the balcony. There was a family that lived up there, and they loved to spend family time walking around in the nude. It was really not fun to watch. So I don't really remember exactly the layout of here because, for one, they were kind of elite leadership, whatever, and there was like a little loft area, like a raised area that the beds were on, is what I remember. But I didn't put a lot of effort into this room, honestly, because fuck them. Yeah, I did not like them. They were very close to Berg and lived with... Berg is the founder of the cult, and they lived with him for a while, and I just don't like them. Let's see, where do I go? The little hallway. Okay, this is a guest bathroom when we would have visitors, and this is the little bathroom, and if you said naughty things, they'd make you eat a bar of soap. You didn't have to swallow, but you did have to bite and chew until the whole bar had been bit and chewed through. So yes, lovely memories. This is a bedroom that at one point was mine. I did not complete it, so don't mind that. But my bunk bed is, am I going to show it? To the top right over there. Yes, that's my bunk bed up there. I don't remember what I showed it. Oh my God, there it is. Yes, that was my bed. Yep, and we had a lovely view. And if you open those windows, you could smell those flowers. I made a little closet that I did not finish. Don't go in there. You forgot about it. It's gone. The memory has passed. You never saw it. Here we go. We're going to go down the hallway. Do we go to the kitchen? What are we doing, Sarah? Think. Where are we going? Where are we going? Kitchen? Downstairs? Bedrooms? Are we doing the bedroom? I think, yeah, the kitchen? Kitchen? Nope. Bedrooms. Bedrooms. What are you doing? Oh my God, I'm so indecisive. Okay, so this was a family. They had two little boys, and this was their room. I think later it was another woman's room and her small children. But yeah, there was that. And then which room do I go to next? Is it the video closet or am I frozen? No, move, walk. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so slow. This room, my mom's bed, me and my three younger sisters, we shared the two bunk beds. There's the little table. Yeah, mine was on the left, top left. I was top left. The little table was her sewing machine, and I once hid under that bed and grabbed my sister's ankles. I had on cleaning gloves. We were scared of the monster, the green-handed monster under the bed, and I hid under that bed, and when she sat on the bed, where did the duck, I don't know where the duck came from, but yeah, when she came back to the bed, I grabbed her ankles and it was like, bleh! She screamed so loud. Good times. Now I know why my little sister and me did not get along. I will come back for that duck. Terrible coming across wildlife in your home. This is another room that I also shared with my mom and my younger sisters for a period of time. Before we moved into the other room, and there's these little alcoves. I don't know how much I show in this clip, but it's like this little alcove. So when you'd be in the shower, it felt like you were outside. And yeah, the boys would climb over the wall. I don't remember if I'm talking about this, but that's our bedroom window there to the right, and then from the other bedroom, and then this one. Oh my God, I'm moving around so fast. I think I moved the mouse, and I think that people are seeing with me. I need work. Yes, my toilet seat cover. I was so proud of deciding to use a hopper for that. There was a little bathtub and a shower, and I can't figure out how to move around my own creations. And we had a little plants that we had along the thing there. We weren't allowed to use the bathtub because it wasted too much water, but we would sit in it and play. So that was fun. Which one do I go? Do I go backwards to the video closet? Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God, what's happening? It's glitching like crazy. Okay, so the video closet. Here's the video closet. We would have our video library with movies like Lean on Me, one of my all-time favorites with Morgan Freeman, and Sound of Music with Captain Kirk, not Kirk. Yeah. Sound of Music, Little Lord Fauntleroy. Some other weird... movies. But mostly in that house, we watched a lot of Sound of Music and Lean on Me. Yeah, we also would have like Top Secret stuff. That was another couple, and they had other like preteen or middle-aged children in their room, and a little cupboard, which no one cares to see. Here's the bathroom. I kissed a young man on that counter right there. Yep. And sadly, that young man is no longer with us. Another tragedy of depression and being raised in a fucking cult. Yeah, but this is the bathroom. It was one of our favorite bathrooms, aside from the easy access view, but we could close the windows. But sometimes the adults would give them the keys to come in the bathroom and sneak a peek at us that way. Because, objectifying young women is always super awesome in cults. So out of that room we come. We already went in that room. We're going to the end of the hall. Dun, dun, dun. And this room, okay, yes, the dramatic re-entry into the end of the hall. We have actually arrived. I don't remember the exact layout. It was a very large room, and we had a lot of bunk beds. It got rearranged multiple times. Yes, another closet. Don't go in the attic. No, the attic is completely unfinished. You saw nothing. Go away, Sarah. Downstairs. Thank you. Okay. So we're back downstairs, and here is this room. Now, again, this room was recreated, resituated so many times, but it was a big room. It was a room that I stayed in for a period of time. I made a lousy choice with those. Don't mind my copper never mind the changing color of the. Yes, I remember there being a bit of a nook, and I'm not 100% positive about the layout of this. Oh, this bathroom. This was the best bathroom ever. It had this huge countertop area. It had 2 sinks, which was so fancy. This jacuzzi. And then there was a little private bathroom area, which was really nice. And I think there was actually a little shower. And then there was this shower, which again, it's like you were outside in nature. Except over that wall there, we would often see little peeping Toms. Oh, don't mind don't look at the floating. That was my idea. I wanted to make like a floating cloud place when I first started with Minecraft. And basically it's a big cube with a lot of beacons, which I did not know how beacons were actually made at the time. And now that I realize, I feel like it's an overindulgent use of very rich items. I've never earned a beacon ever. Nope, not ever. But yes, so they would peep over, and it was so bad that we would often take turns and have, one of the teen girls go stand guard on the outside to make sure the boys weren't accessing ladders and climbing over. And they were encouraged by the adults to do that, and adults would often do that as well. Yep, so here's the hill, and there's the Chocascaria and the Dama da Noite bushes that smell so pretty. So we're going to go back in the house, and I think we forget the kitchen. We were supposed to go to the kitchen, folks. If I remember correctly, I forget the kitchen, and it ends up being the last place that we visit. But it's just as well, because the kitchen was... quite a special project. So here is the basement. And now the basement was actually, not the basement, the bottom first underfloor, whatever. This area was a little toddler like class area. And I took care of the toddlers once I was pulled out of class at 12 years old for correcting the teachers. This was our little doomsday preppers room where we had, big sacks of beans and rice and stuff mostly. We were always waiting for the Antichrist to come. This is the boys' room. Now they put these plywood dividers, which was really ugly. And that door, I decided, okay, so I kicked that door and broke that door off the hinges. The boys were trying to lock us out. So our only access to a bathroom inside the house is through that door. That door there is the garage door. So if we had to use the restroom at night, we had to go through the boys' room, and they decided they didn't like that. So they were going to put a deadbolt on the door, and they were in the process of, oh yeah, that was my bed. And they were in the process of doing that. I didn't realize they had actually just installed it when I kicked the door and it tore off the hinges. And they did not believe that it was me. They thought it was my other friend that we all called Strong Legs. You know who you are. So they thought it was me, and I was like, okay, that they didn't think it was me. They thought it was her. But this is where we'd have to go. So the dogs at night, there was Samson, who liked to, bite people in the neck. He was loose at night. And if you were on your period and you had to run all this way in the dark with this large dog nipping at your heels, it was not fun. It was quite terrifying. And this is the bathroom that we had outdoors, which was fine to use during the day. But again, at night, it was really terrifying. And the boys knew it. I'm frozen. No, not frozen. Okay, this don't pay attention to this. I, for the life of me, can't figure out how to get out this damn door, so we give up. All right, so around this corner here we have, that's the bathroom that I failed at exiting. There was a little door, but it was a little busted door, and we had a cat that had kittens, and in the middle of the night a snake came and ate her kittens. So I did not finish this room, and then I did not finish this room. There was a German family that lived here with their teenage daughter. Well, she came and lived in the teen girl room with us. And yeah, this is where, she hurt herself on the soccer field really bad. So there's that room, which I did not finish and furnish because I forgot. And then here we are. Where am I going, Sarah? Where are you going? We already did the outdoors. This is the whole property, just kind of an overview of the area and the space, all the matu in the back that we really were not allowed to be in because it was unsafe. And I think this is where I remember that I never toured the kitchen. But yeah, this was a little snippet of memory from my past. It's been really strange rebuilding this. And, I'm going to do the walk. I'm going to do the laundry walk. So this is the laundry. This is the path we went. Wait, do I actually walk it? No, I fly. Okay, so we're lucky. You fly. And this is the other laundry areas. And I do walk it. I think I actually do walk it. And then you come back here. And there we are. So yeah, you would come from here, you would get the laundry, you would walk around. Oh my God, I do actually walk through it. Okay. Now imagine you're, 8, 9, 10, 12, years old. And this is your chore. Okay. Walk all the way through the back. Now this was a good spot. It wasn't that far. And it was always a mix of like downtrodden, but also jungly and weedy at the same time. There weren't too many critters. So we'd either cut across this way because the back area was actually really jungly, going around the back end of the Chocascaria. And then here we are, and we'd hang the laundry. We would take turns, tag team, if someone was faster or if someone had more strength and stamina. If we were the ones who were more meticulous at, hanging the clothes really neat and tidy, because if you didn't hang them neat and tidy, you could get in trouble. So if you were like stronger and faster, you might be the runner, and then the other one would be the one to hang it up. You figure out how to make shit work. And now the kitchen, here we are. There's our fridges, the deep freezer, the other fridges, our little pantry. Always full. God, you never know when the end of the world is coming. The Antichrist any day will arise. There's the counter. Now, I think I have the layout of this just a little off. I feel like the kitchen was a bit bigger than this, but that's the best I could do. And then here we are back in the laundry room. And then the final area is the little tiny alcove. It was our little mini zoo or habitat. It was already installed in the area with all these little indoor-outdoor nooks. And, I was talking about the rotten eggs. We had to crack a lot of rotten eggs. We'd sort through all these crates and crates and crates of eggs, and half of them would be rotten. It was a really gross job to do. So this little alcove here was built in, and it had a little cement pond, and we had fish in there. And then we got a pair of ducks that we bought as little ducklings on the side of the road. They literally had a big crate, like you would see eggs in, but instead of an egg, there was a little duckling. It was adorable. So we put chicken wire over the top, and we would capture birds in the wild, and some of them were really amazing birds. We would have to release them every so often. A few of the birds we caught, I know, I was told that they were illegal to actually have in captivity. Oh, one interesting little snippet was that the sun actually did set from that side and rises from this side that I'm facing at now. I remember sitting at this table drinking coffee early in the morning with really bad asthma and watching the sun rise over the citrus grove in the back there. And yeah, so I did not think of that when I was building. I was not paying attention to north, south, any of that stuff. I just started building. Oh yes, the water cooler. There should be a water cooler right there. It's where me and my first love had our first kiss. It was true love and it was meant to be, but we were separated by the sands of time. No, it was young puppy love, but there was a water cooler there, and I completely did not think of trying to recreate it, and I probably won't. But yeah, this is the view, and oh, I'm talking about the Dama da Noite. Oh, the UFO! We saw a UFO we were standing right there. Granted, that just means it's unidentified flying object, and we never could identify it. But we did have a lot of things that flew around that area. There was the international airport that was pretty close, so, chances are it was a regular old plane. Anywho, thanks for joining me on this tour of a cult commune I once lived in. Ciao!